a question for the women. Are we getting narcissism confused with emotional maturity? For example, a man with boundaries. Why are y'all trying to make these men now to be controlling and insecure? And the only thing he doing is leading correctly. But in your mind, you really upset because you used to having your way. So when he's standing on morals, principles, and values, you looking at it as if he trying to control you. He doing too much. Not only that, you ain't paid attention to that man communication style. When it's hostile, when everything is going crazy and you yelling and then he raising his voice and y'all going back and forth and he realizes it ain't going no more. What if that man communication style is a turtle? Which means he need to go in his shell, he process the information, and then he always come back and correct it and he apologize. But see, in your mind, you looking at it like, see, you always making it about you. When I'm trying to have a conversation about my feelings, you always walking away and this and that. What if he done processed it and realized that we always do this and we never get anywhere? But have you peeped that when he come back, he always correct his behavior? And then last but not least, that man be validating your feelings. It just didn't look the way you wanted to look. It didn't sound the way you wanted to sound. He didn't use the words you had in your mind. But if we having a genuine conversation, he validated your feelings. The difference between emotional mature men is they not trying to win. They trying to resolve. And a narcissistic man is always trying to dominate you. So why are you trying to break the man emotional immaturity and turn him into a narcissist?
All right. We're finally back after a long month of being gone. We have a very fiery topic for you today, the emotional investment. Actually, it's going to be the emotional investment versus the emotional enmeshment. So what that's about, make sure you sit there and share, tune in, because I'm telling you, it's going to be tasty. Also, make sure you tune in tomorrow to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour as they present to you the emotional regulation. This is one you really don't want to miss if you really want to prosper with your relationship or even within yourself. Do not miss out. Now, to go on with the show, we're going to go ahead and bring in the host of the show for today, Mr. Dez.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Happy Friday. Hope everybody had a good week. I know my week was long. I'm glad it's the weekend. I'm so glad it's the weekend. But like she said, we got a spicy topic for you today. And we're going to go ahead and bring in the other half of the dynamic duo for tonight. Mr. Dwight, where you at, Mr. Dwight?
Hey, y'all, what's up? How y'all doing out there? I hope y'all having a great day. It's a Friday weekend.
Oh, yeah.
On. But yeah, Dez, I'm sitting here enjoying my chip. I got part of that video. Ladies, look. I just want to stay. Don't. There's no getting upset. You know, it's just us talking. You know, just being mean. So don't take it personal.
Yeah, and please don't take it personal. Please don't. But I mean, he had some very good points in that video that we just discussed. You know, by the way, I do actually listen to a lot of his things he does. He's a great storyteller, for one. If you ever get a chance to check him out. But let's talk about this, Mr. Dwight. Emotional investment. Now. He said, now, according to the video, he was taking that, sometimes that some men, as men, we may have a tendency to our processes differently when we're trying to figure things out.
He's right.
But, so a lot of people may ask, well, what is emotional investment? Now, according to the technical term for it, emotional investment is when we focus our emotions in the form of our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors into anything that we hope over time will help us grow and sustain our emotional well-being. So what are some things that we on a daily invest our emotions in? We invest our emotions in our families. We invest our emotions in our relationships, and we also invest our emotions in our careers. So, Mr. Dwight, quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do we over invest our emotions in certain things, even when it comes to family or relationships or even our careers? Because, for example, with me, I have a tendency when it comes down to my art, I dive deep into it, and it's I'm so emotionally involved. If I'm doing poetry or if I'm in a play, my emotions are just on an all-time high because I'm trying to get into this character. I'm trying to put all I have, all my feelings and emotions into expressing myself through this poem. But and on the flip side, I've noticed that with family, I can sometimes become overly emotionally invested. you know,
Wow.
and just giving too much time and not, just overlooking things. But one thing I've noticed though, out of all those three things, the hardest thing I have a problem, I ain't gonna say have a problem with,
Uh-oh.
the hardest thing for me to do sometimes is invest my emotions into a relationship.
Mm. Well, my brother, you're not alone in that. You're really not alone in that, and I'm pretty sure there's quite a few men that think that same way. I had that same, well, if you want to say problem, but because I spend a lot of time into myself, investing and just working out a lot. It's just in my DNA. I like to. I guess because I have so much energy, that I just do that a lot, constantly. But relationships and everything, I haven't really much, thought about it or really took time to invest in it. Even my daughter asked me, "Dad, you ever thought about getting back into a relationship?" I'm like, nah, not really.
He said it's just not on the radar, huh?
I'm being honest, it just haven't really been on the radar. Brother, there's a couple of people DM me in my box. And they asked me some questions about that. They said, have you thought about dating? Have you thought about this and that? I just, like you did, you put a lot of your investment in your poetry. This, that. I put a lot of stuff into a lot of other things in my workouts, and I just couldn't, I can take some of my past relationships and things that might have should have been said and this and that. But other than that, that's what all my energy been going into. Just me, myself, and I doing me.
So I mean, why is it that we as, I mean, do you feel that some of us, I can't put all of us men in one category, because some men are very emotionally mature and know how to regulate their emotions, but we'll save that for tomorrow's show.
Right.
But because sometimes I think sometimes that the problem that I may have sometimes with investing my emotions into a relationship is the fear of being hurt. And it's kind of like it almost feels like it's almost like a defensive mechanism. Like there's this wall that I want you close to me, but I won't get too close to you because I don't want to hurt myself in the process if you hurt me. And even though that may not be the case, because I have come to the conclusion that women invest themselves deeply, solely. The ones that truly love you and want to be with you, they invest their all into you, their emotions, their time, their energy. And sometimes as men, we don't look at that aspect of the relationship. I feel, now this is just my personal opinion. I'm a proud dropout of Jackson State University, so I don't have no degrees. But I think that sometimes us as men, we don't focus on the emotional aspect of a relationship because we feel like we have to be the protector, so to speak. And sometimes getting into our emotions almost seems like it will weaken us to a point to where we would let down our guards. And it's hard for us to really open up sometimes. Excuse me. It's hard for us to open up sometimes to the women that we love and that we trust, and fear that when we open up to them, they're going to look at us differently. They're not going to look at us as that strong man that
Right.
they want us to be. They're going to look at us as a weak individual, and that's not always true. Not all women do that, but a
No.
lot of women do, because if they see a man that's so deep into it, that's willing to express his emotions or be emotional, she's kind of looking at him as if he's a weak creature. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Some women out there, and if you get a chance, you can call in or put your comment in the chat. Let me know if what I'm saying is wrong. Let me know if what I'm saying is right. It's just my opinion. I believe that sometimes men do not really open up to women because of the fact that we have that fear factor that if I show her so much emotion, if I show her that gentle side of me, she's gonna either throw it back in my face later on somewhere down the line, or she's not going to see me as that strong provider and protector that I am. So I mean, but that's just my opinion. Do you think that sometimes that may be the case why we as men don't really invest our emotions into our relationships a lot?
No, I agree with you, Des. I mean, a lot of men have a hard, just like you said, they just have a hard time sometimes opening up to women. Now, I guess I'm different. Des, you from you close to you around Generation X. I'm like Mr. Spock on Star Trek sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know the young ones out there, you ever watch Star Trek. Not saying, I mean, I'm I'm a good listener, this and this and this, but sometimes when it comes to expression certain emotions, I can be like Mr. Spock. I ain't gonna lie, I can be like Mr. Spock. That's illogical. You don't ever show your feelings. In other words, I guess I show my emotions to. I mean, the things I do into my workout and some other things, and when it comes to certain things, I kind of like, and sometimes men do look at it that the woman might look at them weak or see them as something maybe different. But I'll give it to you on that. And a lot of men do feel like that. Not all, but quite a few men do feel like that, and that's why they do what they do. They don't too much open up the way they do. So.
I mean, yeah, I say that, and I'm just me personally, just speaking from personal experience, because I have found that in a lot of cases, it is hard for me to. I can now, like you said, I am a great listener. You can talk to me about anything, and I'm able to give you an unbiased opinion, whether you like it or not. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear when it comes to a relationship. But sometimes it's still hard just to be able to, sit down and be like, baby, well, this is what's been on my mind, XYZ, whoop-de-woo. I've been going through this, and I'm feeling some certain way about this when it comes to us. And and sometimes it's hard for us as men to open up and do that, because for one, we don't want to seem like we're an inferior being. Sometimes, at least in some cases, but we can sit up and we can pour, like when it comes to us and our boys, we can tell our boys, boy, we can talk to our boys and have a heartfult emotional conversation without fear of repercussion. Now your boys, your guys, they might rag on you a little bit, joke on you a little bit, but at the end of the day, they still gonna relate to you, and they not gonna hold that against you. But when you have those type of conversations with a woman, sometimes with some women, I can't say all women, when some women, because a lot of women, in my mind, some of them are very emotionally mature, and some of them are lackluster when it comes to emotion. They don't have a clue of what it is. Because, and it's, and a lot of times it's because of the things that they've seen, the way that they've seen their parents' interaction or lack thereof. And they take that and they carry it on over into their lives. Because I'm going to be honest with you, as a man, a lot of things that I saw coming up, I've noticed that I have a tendency to have those same scenarios go on in my relationships, because of the things that I've seen, and I still have that processing in my head. Excuse me. So I'm, and that's something I'm learning, according to my therapist, I think I'm getting better.
No, you're right though. I mean, you on point with that because things that we do see, and I have heard some ladies I've dealt with say the things that they, and they parents and everything that they carried on and bringing on with them, and they just see things different. I have had women come at me and ask me certain things, and I guess because it just depends on what we all been through. Everybody got a story to tell, and sometimes we, men, I don't know, we just it's not like we don't want to say anything or things like that, but like I said, I guess it's their fear that maybe they'll turn around and say use it against us or see us a different way. So it's not like we don't want to, ladies. It's just with men it just take a little time. Y'all more a little bit emotional than we are, and we just, like Dad said, we can get with our boys, we can chop it up like it ain't no tomorrow. We just built it. I'm not saying that we don't care. We just a little bit different. That's all. We just different.
And so, I mean, but like you just brought up a very good point there. So do you think a lot of times that women sometimes may take that as a sign that we don't care because
that part, yes,
our emotions aren't in it? Because, to them, if we're not, to some, but not all, but, if we're not showing that emotion, if we're not giving that reassurance sometimes, if we're not doing certain things, do you think that makes a woman feel as if we don't care because our emotions are not visible to them? Even though we may be, maybe holding those emotions, they rolling on the inside, they're just not coming out.
Yeah, because they feel like you must don't love me because you can't express your emotion, or you must be seeing somebody else. What? How we get there?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, they actually a few have asked me that because you like you can't express yourself, so you must be thinking about somebody else. What? Huh? What? But they do feel that, but they feel you either don't care or you got your mind on somebody else. And ladies, I just want to make this clear. It's not that. The men, sometimes they love you more than life. But like I said, sometimes it's just hard for them to say certain things. It's not like they don't care or anything like that. So y'all don't be thinking the man don't care or if he's with somebody else or trying to think about getting with somebody else. I mean, we all are not the same. So don't think that. See, you make us ball up even more when y'all be thinking that stuff. Let me just shut up.
I mean, but you might be on something because we might be thinking about getting with somebody else. That somebody else just may be one of your other personalities.
That part.
Because that old saying, I want my wife, my girlfriend, my side chick, and my mistress to all be the same one. They come in different. They got different wigs they put on.
Hey, that'll work with me. Yeah, that'll work.
so Hey Marie has a question for y'all.
Okay.
And she says, so how is a woman supposed to know or identify if those emotions are the same if the man is holding them on the inside?
How is it? Can you leave that? Can you leave that up there so I can read it, so I can get a good read it while I'm thinking about the answer to that? Because well, to be honest, I don't know how she would. I don't know how she would be able. How can she identify something that she's not being given a visual example of?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it would be easy for her to identify those emotions, unless, well, I will say this, if a man may not openly say it, but sometimes his actions can show that emotion.
Yep.
I think so. Sometimes he can show that emotion through his action, because sometimes that is a man's way of verbalizing himself through action, not, just using the actual word.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, Des.
Oh man, I hear music. So hey, y'all, we will be back on the Black Hand side. See y'all in 2 and 2 when the commercials get through.
Have you ever been in a relationship where you feel like you can't make decisions without your partner's input, or that your emotions are completely tied to theirs? Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Harris, a licensed mental health counselor, and today I want to talk to you about enmeshment in relationships, what it is, how it shows up, and how it can impact you. Enmeshment is when boundaries between you and your partner are so blurred that your identity starts to merge. So how do you know if enmeshment is happening in your relationship? Well, here are some signs to watch out for. Number 1, you feel responsible for your partner's emotions and well-being. Number 2, you have difficulty saying no to your partner even when it's necessary. Number 3, you prioritize your partner's needs over your own to the point where you lose touch with what you really want. Number 4, you find it hard to spend time apart or to engage in activities that don't involve your partner. And number 5, your sense of self-worth is tied to the relationship status or your partner's approval. If any of these sound familiar, enmeshment might be at play. And while it can feel comforting to be so close, it actually prevents a healthy relationship from forming. Why? Because a healthy relationship requires two whole individuals, not two halves merging together to become whole, because if this did happen, both individuals will feel like there are parts of themselves, values, or friendships they had to give up in order to be in this relationship. Overcoming enmeshment starts with setting boundaries. This means recognizing your own needs and learning to express them. It's about reconnecting with yourself, your interests, your goals, your friendships outside of the relationship. It's okay to say no or to have different opinions and activities. In fact, it's essential. By establishing these boundaries, you not only become a healthier partner, but you also allow your relationship to grow in a way that's supportive and balanced. Remember, the goal isn't to disconnect, but to connect in a way that's healthier for both of you. You have the power to create a relationship where both you and your partner can thrive as individuals. Start by taking the step towards balance today. Until next time, stay mindful, stay connected, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.
All right. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow as the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour comes to you with a topic of emotional regulation, how to regulate emotions within yourself and also in relationships. So make sure you tune in live. Also, we also want to give a reminder of last week because we was not able to be here, but we had a beautiful woman's birthday last week, Ms. Kanisha Yancey. Happy belated birthday to you. We didn't want to forget you. So now over to Mr. Dez.
All right. Once again, happy birthday again to you, boo. All righty, but enmeshment in relationships. He made some very relevant points. Me and Spicy must have been on the same page, because I did a little bit of research on this. And I learned a lot about myself when I was doing this research. And I think and according to what I researched, I think I'm addicted to toxicity.
Oh, snap.
That is a word, even if it ain't. I just made it up, so I spoke it into existence. But
yeah,
but like he was saying that, I mean, he brought up some very relevant points, because like some of the signs that I pulled up was pretty much what he was talking about: the lack of privacy when you start speaking for each other, or have a controlling behavior. Now, there like in the first video, there is a difference from what Mr. Booker Joe JB, I just call him Brother Joe, what he was talking about, when it comes to controlling, because there's a difference between suggesting and telling,
Yeah.
And then when you have poor conflict resolution within your relationship, if the only way you know how to solve a situation is to fight or go your separate ways, or you just can't have a conversation. You always end up arguing, and then another one that he maybe not have touched on was when you start sabotaging the individual goals. Like you said, when you start prioritizing your partner over you. And I can just, speaking from an experience, I have done that before, and it did not turn out bad. I mean, did not turn out good for me, because I found myself lost, because I forgot who I was, because it's almost like I had turned into the other person. you know, and I've literally genuinely forgot who I was. So those sometimes I think are a lot of things that people don't look into when it comes to it, you know, when it comes to the enmeshment aspect of, you know, being in a relationship. And I can, like I said, I can only speak from experience, because that's one thing that I have always had a problem with, which was, you know, boundaries.
Yeah.
What do you say? I'm a habitual line crosser. You know, it's like, I don't know what it is, you know, and then, you know, so I mean, Mr. Dwight, I mean, when you think about what the gentleman said, you know, and some of the things, and you look back on some of your past relationships, could you see any of those signs in those relationships?
I gotta be real. Me personally, y'all, I gotta just be real. I really had no relationship because I was married for 13, 14 years, and after that,
but that's really still a relationship.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The thing is, you know, after the divorce and everything, but during the time that I was married, I was like always doing things, I guess, to make her happy. So, you know,
happy wife, happy life syndrome.
You know, because that's the way I was made, you know, just, you know, making her happy. At that time, I was losing myself because it was always doing things with her, going to her house, her family house, doing things around her family. And and just like you said, and sometimes I felt lost. So who am I? Where am I? I mean, because I was so busy just pitting and trying to make her happy that I kind of lost myself. And it just wasn't a good feeling, you know what I'm saying? And then and another thing, you know, one thing I hate arguing. Oh God, we argue over something. I'm like, how the hell we even get here? Why would you say this? And if I didn't agree with a certain thing, it just goes left. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there looking like, what the F? You know what I'm saying? And then I'll just say anything, just the ending, and then I get blamed for, oh, you just, and I'm like, let me just shut up. You know what I'm saying? But see, ladies, y'all understand that right there would work on a man, because not saying all ladies do that, but when a man go through a certain thing like that, he's not saying all women are like that, but then in the back of their mind, they're like, she could be like that. Could she be like that? That's something I don't want to go through again. So I'm just saying, I'm just speaking from my experience, and sometimes I just, oh hell no, I don't think I need to jump into nothing right now. Let me just enjoy my peace.
Boy, look, I was watching this one female comedian, and she broke it down. She said, "Ladies, stop arguing with your man, because for one, he's not listening to you, and two, and now this is coming from a woman. This is coming from a woman, not me. This is coming from a woman." And she said, and two, he's trying to figure out what to say to get you to shut the hell up.
Now she ain't lying on that, because that's me.
And that's coming from a woman's perspective, you know. And then, like you said, you know, not being able to go out and do things. That's like I was in a relationship. Well, I don't know if like now I sound like you don't think it was a relationship, but I was seeing somebody, and I'd be like, well, I'm about to go to the store, and she'd be like, okay, let me get my purse. Huh? How did
come with me? What the hell?
I just said I'm going to the store. Yeah, we going to the store. Let me get my purse real quick.
Ooh, I hate that. Ooh, I hate that.
Like, okay, can I breathe? You know, and then sometimes I do believe though too, I think that sometimes men can be more guilty of that than women, so to say, per se, because a lot of times if a woman, I've seen some fellas who, if they woman is constantly going and doing something, they just ain't at peace. They ain't at ease. They don't know how to be by themselves, you know. And then it's like every time, next thing you know, that turns, and every time she says she going somewhere, who you going with? Who gonna be there? Why come you ain't invite me? You know,
I was the opposite. I said, hey, please go hang out with your friends. Oh, please go do something with you. Because see, that give me some me time to me. I push it. I encourage, please go out, do something. Yeah, have some fun. That was just me though.
Hey, no, you was not alone. Because I mean, that's the way I felt too. Because even if that's like I think I can't remember. We was on one show. It was on a show, and we was doing a show, and somebody asked like, "Would you let your wife go on a vacation without you?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was. I can't remember what show. It was one of the shows that we did, and we were saying, "Would you let your wife go on a vacation?" And it's like, please, if she's on a vacation, I'm on a vacation. But then you got some people. You got some people that's like, oh, you think you going out? You going without me? Oh no, I don't know what you're gonna be doing, and you're not going to have fun. You just going to monitor. You're going to supervise. You're going to play peekaboo, so to speak, to make sure that they not doing something right. And that's one of the things I think that's really a big one when it comes to enmeshment. When it not being able to be alone or do things for yourself or even things for yourself. What's up, brother Mac? I see you down there. But yeah, that's one of the things. Yeah, my brother Mac, he's back at it. The Mac is back. So yeah, and I think that's one of the things that really hinders a relationship from going by. Y'all having to do every little thing together. Every time you go somewhere, you got to dress alike. Now, sometimes I don't mind. Sometimes I don't mind that. Just let me put my own little flavor on it. We can wear the same color scheme. Just let me come up with my outfit. You ain't got to pick out the clothes for me.
We ain't no twins. Ladies, I ain't really cut dance. Ladies, I'll let y'all know this. Men don't like that. I mean, come on. Look, I ain't trying to be your twin. I mean, we can do something like have a color different, but I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I ain't all men, but I ain't too much care for that matching stuff, Des. I didn't care for much. That's match up for what? What? We ain't no damn twin. What we gotta match up for? I might not even like that color you got on. I mean, I'm just saying that was just me. I mean, I don't know. I could be guilty. I don't know. That was just me, though. I ain't care about all that matching stuff. That's just me. So.
Well, hey, I mean, look, let me put it to you like this. I've never been with a woman that didn't know how to dress.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never been with a woman that wanted me to step out of the house and make her look bad.
Right.
So, I can honestly say that when it comes to the dressing thing, like I said, sometimes I may want to, but at the same time, I ain't got no problem because when it comes to that, the way I see it is that women, when they look at you and how they see how they want you to look to them, what's going to put a smile on their face.
Yeah. Okay, sometimes not to interrupt y'all. It's not a commercial, but I guess what? I got a little surprise for the man. I wanted to just surprise y'all today because it's been a long time coming to join in with the conversation. Everybody, welcome in Mr. DJ Mac.
Oh my God! Don't tell me you done brought my brother up here. Don't tell me you done brought my brother up here.
We gotta wait a minute. He popped off. Hold up.
I guess I did. I speak it in. I see.
For a second,
you gotta watch Spicy. Gotta watch Spicy.
Yeah, because I was just scared. I didn't know what she was talking about. So what the hell is she talking about? I thought she was gonna bring somebody up here that was gonna give us a hard time or something. I'm like,
look, boy, I thought she was about to bring a woman up here and be like.
That's what I was thinking. I thought just what it is. I thought it was Nora. I said, oh, she about to bring Nora up in this mug. Oh snap. That's what I thought.
I did. I seen a comment fly by that I couldn't read it too well. Somebody was saying that they had been married for almost a year, but I couldn't. I was too busy running my mouth to read at the same time.
What's up, Mac?
The Mac is back.
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
It's going good. Miss you, brother. What's going on?
Hey, all is well. It's coming along. How's everybody been?
I'm doing all right. Glad to see you in good spirits.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Shots out.
Absolutely. To the family. What's happening, everybody? How y'all been?
Doing all right. So, Brother Mac, you might as well just jump on in here. I know you got something. If you ain't got something to say, I'm gonna tell you to turn off your camera and go back where you was at because I know you got something to say.
You got something to say.
Okay, what is it that you like me to impart my expertise on?
Well, today's topic is emotional investment versus emotional enmeshment.
Mm-hmm.
Mesh. So MEMESH. Mesh.
E-N.
Enmeshment.
Enmeshment.
Yes.
Because that's why it sounded funny to me. I'm like, huh?
Look, the first time when I thought of it, I had to say it a few times myself.
Right, say it again to me. I don't know what that one was, but I'm here.
You know, but they say that the technical definition is a dysfunctional relationship pattern where emotional boundaries between individuals are unclear or non-existent, leading to excessive emotional closeness and the blurring of individual identities.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it no better.
Yep.
That is the actual definition. And so let's sprinkle a little juice on that. Here we go. When you're talking about the emotional state of a person and them bonding themselves together with your emotional state, because what you didn't realize coming into the relationship was that the person that you're entering into a relationship with has no emotional identity. That's number one that you have to already be clocking on right there. You have to be on your toes, understanding like, oh, what am I dealing with? This one, always crying, always whining. They're talking about where you going. They always want to go with you.
Hell no.
You can't even go to the bathroom. They talk about how long you gonna be in there. You don't have an emotional identity of your own. And so what you begin to do is vampire off the person that you with. And the person that you deal with, they might be a good person all around all the other ways. But that emotional vampirism is what gets them into, from that point, now when you start enjoying yourself outside of the relationship in any point, way, shape, form, or fashion. It's just like we right here, right now. And somebody, you always podcasting. You always on the podcast with them. Why you always got to be up there with them? Why y'all always? You see what I'm saying? You see, so now you're beginning to have fun and do things outside the relationship, which what you was correlating with in your regular life anyway. This is what you do. What I was doing before I met you.
Yeah.
So, but now that I'm back to my old scheme of things after we start settling down and I didn't pay attention to who I was dealing with, and so I just let the relationship keep going, I find that I am dating an emotional vampire.
I want to suck your blood.
Yeah, and you will find yourself, she will always, or he will always be, you don't want to spend time. And ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about, because any man that's like this, y'all hate us. I'm sorry, it's just what it is. You don't want to spend no time. I'm trying to take you out. I want to go here. I want to do this.
So real.
Those are emotional vampires.
And you conveniently want to do all of this when you know what I normally do about this time.
Hey, hold on, cut it up. I don't think they heard it. Say it for a minute for the back one more time.
I said, and you conveniently want to do this when you know I'm always doing this at this time.
Lord have mercy.
But I thought I was the only one that had that problem before. I'll take a shot to that. You know,
Mr. Mac,
because
you put it out there so well, because I can relate to that, what you just said so many times. Yeah.
But see, at that point, that's when it becomes it's almost like, it seems like the person is competing for your attention when they don't have to. It's an unnecessary brought about competition, because you have my attention for one already, because of the simple fact that I'm with you. You have my attention. Now, if I'm doing something I was doing when we got together, don't stop me unless it's something that's detrimental to my health.
I got
that is music out here. So, all right, y'all. Well, we're gonna go to this quick commercial break. We're gonna take a sip of some tea and lemonade, and we'll see y'all in 2 and 2. All right now.
Boundaries is such an important thing for mental and emotional and relational health. A boundary is a place where I can love you and me simultaneously, where I can be safe inside my boundary, to love you as much as I can and able to, without betraying myself and letting your life and your energy and your agenda overrun my boundaries. A boundary protects you. It's not about controlling them, though they will feel your boundary is about controlling them. Never adjust your boundaries because of someone's emotional reaction to your saying no.
All right. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour as we talk about another level, which will be the emotional regulation. Trust me, this is one you do not want to miss. And also on next week, make sure you tune in because the women next week on September 20th will be Keisha in the building with Grown Women of Views and Vibes talking about why am I not the magnet? You want to know what that's all about? Hey, make sure you set that notification and tune in live. Also next week, Grown Men Talking will return to you on a very deep topic, one night versus one wife. Hey, if you want to know the ingredients, you got to tune in to get the icing. So, hey, that's all I got to say on that. Now back over to Des.
All right. Welcome back. Whoa, that's going to be a spice. I like that one right there, one night versus one wife. But okay, we're going to save them thoughts for that show. Woo! That was a good one. See, you got to watch Spicy. You got to watch Spicy, boy. She be coming with some thought bangers, but... And like he was saying, I was listening to the gentleman. He was very, 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 I believe, just my own personal opinion, he was very, very on point with that because like I stated earlier, I do believe after talking to a therapist, I have come to the realization that I am a habitual line crosser. I'm working on it because and I do honestly believe that you do need boundaries within a relationship and you should be able to respect those boundaries. But at the same time, I believe that you shouldn't set your boundaries too tight. Now, what I mean by that, when I say that, like, be understanding within the boundaries that you set. I believe sometimes you do have to be compromised, and even us as men, we have to be compromised. But at the same time, we should also be firm in what we believe in, because I've never met a woman that didn't stand on what she said. Any thoughts on that? What he was talking about with the boundaries, fellas?
No, I want to go back with Mac said, because Mac, woke that in that nightmare in my head. Mac said, man, because what he said about the bathroom, which I had experienced that. I couldn't go. I said it on the show one time. I couldn't even go to the bathroom without the person sitting at the damn door. I mean, what I'm gonna do? Jump out the window? And then another thing he mentioned, when you do have free time, because I had no time. I had no problem with them going out and doing their thing. But if I go out my boys, my brother in the club dancing, guess who come there? Guess who's here? And I'm like, look at this bull crap. I mean, can I have time and space to myself? I mean, I can't even go out without her coming to the damn club or coming to the sport. I mean, coming out there with the guys are hanging out, but the guys are hanging out and everything. Oh, I just wanted to come out with the girls. Oh, but you do it on the night there. It'll be my time to hang out with the boys. So you have to have boundaries. You have to have things. This what just make you just like, ugh, why I'm even here? You got to have that. You definitely got to have that. But I just want to chime on what Max said, because some things he said, I can definitely relate. Definitely relate. Now I'm going to have nightmares about it tonight, but I can definitely relate.
That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with a good nightmare every once in a while. Keep you in check with reality. What's on your mind, Brother Mac? I can hear your thoughts running.
Two things I want to say, and let's get to this boundaries thing. See, yes and no. Let me turn my mic a little bit. Okay, there we go. Yes and no. I agree on the boundaries. I got an extent on it, and I guess my extent goes like this. If in my age time, and I'm probably the youngest guy up here, but in my age and in my time and in my adventure on this planet, I've come to find that if your boundaries or my boundaries overstep each other, then we don't need to be with each other anyway, because somebody's going to end up treating somebody like a kid. Says, you do this. See, I don't like it when you do that. Why you got to go over there? You gotta see, I got boundaries for my kids. You understand what I'm saying? But my woman is free to go, and as long as you know how to act, then what's the boundaries about? I think that when you're talking about boundaries, what we're not doing is taking the time to properly vet out these people that we want on our team, that we want to call a partner, fellas. And one thing that leads into my second train of thought, a little game that I got from one of my brothers, and he told me most men go through what they go through with women. So I'm not going to talk about the women, because I can only check mankind, and me and you and bro, we mankind. We are this kind of man. We are the male species of the whole species. So in talking about us, I can say you ain't even admitted to yourself that you don't properly know how to pick a good woman. And until you pick that part out, you can forget all the rest of it. Boundaries and accolades and shapeshifters and all. Listen, if I pulled your mom out the situation and say, now look at every woman in your life, what do you call a good woman? You be lost. Most of us will be lost. Most of us ain't got like 9,000 good women around us that she's a good woman, she's a good woman, she's a good woman. Yeah, but what's a good woman for you?
That part.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That part.
So if I'm being honest with myself, I don't know how to pick a good woman. This is why I've had a lot of disasters and a lot of tornadoes and hurricanes and weapons of mass destruction and things of that nature.
Damn.
Because I don't know how to pick.
Well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but see, but you put a very valid point on that, because I do honestly believe I know how to pick a good woman. But like you said, I think the problem is picking a good woman for me, because a lot of times, like, just not to piggyback off what you said, but to just bring it to the light, because like I said, this is my second therapy session. So the way I take what you said when you said having the boundaries and the boundaries overstepping each other, that seems to be one of the issues that I always run into, because my boundaries is loose. Like you said, you go and do what you got to do. Hey, I ain't got no problem with that. But it's not reciprocated, because sometimes, like I said, I'm a habitual line crosser. And and that's something that I'm working on, but so boundaries just may not be good for me, because I don't know what it is about this Gemini mind of mine. But if you tell me I can't do something, it's only going to make me want to do it more. Except smoke crack.
Damn.
Hey, I'm with you when you're right, bro. And well, you talking from a Gemini standpoint, I understand you. But taking mine, I'm an Aries. We're the top of the food chain.
I don't know about all that.
I'm not asking you to agree. I'm just asking you to understand. That's all.
I'm with
That's
you,
all,
bro.
man. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm just asking you to understand.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. Don't pay me no attention.
And I'm gonna bump my head, and so I get it. I'm gonna bump my head up against the wall, trying to make my life correct and good for me to then come in and tell you your life ain't this for me because you doing this wrong and you doing that wrong, and I want a little bit more space, but you want a little bit more time, and I want to hump 3 times a week. You want to hump 7. It's crazy.
God,
you see what I'm saying? It's crazy. If you think about all the things that we go through as people trying to call ourselves formulating a relationship with all these rules and regulations and things of that nature, I just say, hey, whatever happened to old Barney said, I love you and you love me, and we're all a great big family. And hey, that's it. Hey, I love you, you love me. What's wrong with that?
Families argue and fight all the time, so hey.
Yeah, but they still love each other.
Oh yeah,
they might walk away from each other for years, fight each other, all that. Walk away from each other for months, years, weeks, whatever. But I love you, you love me. So hey, what it is? What we doing?
I got that damn song stuck in my head.
But this is like, you know, me and my cousins, boy, we get together, boy, we be banging, we fighting, we talk about each other all the time. But let somebody else outside the family talk about one of us. Oh, you got a problem.
I rest my case. Because that's the only rule and regulation that comes with that is that, hey, we do everything under the sun to each other. But you are not in this. Stay out of this. It's between us. It's ours. So that's the only rule and regulation that should be there. It's if it's none of your business, walk away, keep going. I think us as people, as men, we have gotten to a space and a process in our life where I'm too. I ain't gonna say over the hill, but I'm over the hill of arguing. That heel is cooked.
Yes, it is.
I don't got time for that with you.
Well,
I'm with Mac on that. I'm with Mac on that. I definitely ain't got the time for that. I ain't trying to say I'm over the hill, but yeah, I'm with him on that 100%. For real.
Matter of fact, you stand up there. I'm going back to the bottom.
Hey, so you know, so with that being said, I know we got a little bit more time, but I mean, so what are some things that we can do as individuals to prevent ourselves from being in these enmeshment type of relationships? You know, I'm listening.
Great question. And I think the first answer to that is like what they tell you in Alcoholics Anonymous or Drug Anonymous, whatever they call it. They say the first step is admitting that you got a problem and you are the weakest link in the problem because you keep standing in the problem, letting it hit you upside your head. So you need to admit your problem to yourself. Hey, I got a problem with attracting women to me that like to argue, fight, throw my clothes out, bleach them, burn them, bust my car windows out. You see what I'm saying? You got a problem. You got an addiction to that.
Hey, I was just talking about to Brother Dwight about that earlier before you came on. I said, like, you know, literally, you know, talking to a therapist, I have come to learn that a part of me is addicted to toxicity. You know, a part of me thrives off of that, but the other half, but it irritates the other half of me because the other half of me is passive. You don't want to, like Mr. Dwight said, I don't feel like arguing, but this side over here, I always want to get something going, want to cause some trouble, do something just to make something be, you know, a situation. You know, so
I want to see what's the right thing I can say that when I say it, I'm gonna push you over the edge.
Yeah, what can I do to push that button? What can I do? I just want to push that button and sit back and watch the movie.
Right.
You know.
Meanwhile, you got a problem, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Wanting to push the button is a problem.
But see, and now that, like I said, like you just said, the first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. And like I said, I have come to the conclusion that I am a habitual crosser. So I'm working on me so I can get better for us.
As long as you know. Hey. Because in all mathematics, I've found that ratios and equations and things of that nature always come back to the same one answer. What's the common denominator?
The common denominator. Anytime you've ever been in a situation you wasn't supposed to be in, what's the one thing that came to the forefront? You.
It is not her fault. It is you. She's responding.
So
She's responding.
See, look at this. Y'all helping healing me. You're helping healing me. You're helping healing me. I'm serious because
the truth about one thing, because that's what I have a problem with. I'm not saying about all relationships, but you got to pick their. Be careful who you pick. And he's right. You got to pick. You got to make sure you pick somebody for you that y'all can. What's that equally yoke or however. Because you pick their own person.
Oh, we ain't finna do this equally yoke conversation. We ain't got enough time. I promise you, we ain't got enough time. We'll be going overboard with the show. I promise you. But God. I will tell you this part. If you admit to yourself honestly, when you dealing with the women that you deal with, you're not looking like, oh my God, she has such a beautiful spirit. She has such a beautiful soul. I could see us together forever. No, you like, she got a fat, she got some big, ooh, look at us now. Ooh, look at it. So that's why I say,
come on now.
That's why I say you don't know what, you don't know how. That's why I say you don't know how to pick, because that's what you pick from.
Yeah. That's right.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be real about it. When have you ever looked at a woman and said, "Oh my God, she has such a beautiful personality"?
Again, I just got to the table. I ain't been here all my life. I'm just finding out that I got to stop picking big asses and stuff like that. You want me to say it? I've been trying to get around it. Hey, look, you got to stop picking those. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
I gotta stop picking that. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, men are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
And we are very visual individuals.
Yeah. See, look here, take that coat off. Take that coat off. That's why everybody see you can't keep letting everybody put a uniform on you. That's what they say about us. And these things might be right. But you can change that about you. You can change that.
What did you just say? The first step to recovery, is admitting that you have a problem.
There you go.
That's like the definition of insanity. I know I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. It's not going to happen.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask all of you brothers this. I can get one question off and I'm going to leave it at this.
Uh-oh.
Do you ever, in your mind time, just sit and jog and say, yeah, she was good. I let her get away?
Yes, I have done that before. Yes, I have.
Yeah. I think all men can relate to that, I believe.
Yeah, you can look back and see the one that was for you. You let her get out the door.
Yeah.
You chasing Tutti Frutti Keisha. You know what I'm saying?
not you, Keisha.
Oh my God. Wait a minute, not Kiki. I ain't talking about Kiki now. Kiki, take yourself off the books. I ain't said that. Hey.
All righty. I hear music. I think somebody telling us it's time to go to our last commercial break.
I like that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we shall return after these fine, lovely commercials from our sponsors. Hey.
Here it came.
And part of the reason why you don't know who you are is because you keep on chasing people. Why are you going to continue to chase somebody where the chase is not even mutual? I'm going to continue chasing somebody where the emotional investment and the emotional commitment is not even being reciprocated. That means I have to lose much more of myself to pursue this person, rather than actually knowing who I am, knowing my worth, knowing what it is that I value, and finding somebody who is compatible. Because even when it comes to compatibility, that also comes with compatibility on the pursuit. That's one of the reasons why you keep on losing yourself, baby.
All right. We want to take the time to say thank you for tuning in live with us. I know it's been a good minute. Over there to both pages of Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Rumble. Thank y'all for tuning in. We really appreciate y'all time that y'all take out with us and these topics that are very meaningful to us. We hope that it helps you as well, but make sure that you tune in tomorrow with the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour as we discuss another level of emotion, which is emotional regulation. So make sure y'all tune in live. Also next week, next Friday, Grown Men come right back to ya with a topic called One Night versus One Wife. This is really going to be interesting. I cannot wait. And next Saturday, yeah, we got the topics rolling, baby. Why am I not the magnet? Hey, Keisha going to bring it hard, so make sure y'all tune in. Phone lines are up, so y'all know good and well y'all can call in with your comments, share your experiences, or even ask the guys or the girls some questions. So make sure that you tune in live, set that notification up. Now back over to Dez.
Oh man, who told that woman about my life before? I couldn't agree with her more, because that I like I said, I lost myself at one point in time pursuing somebody that I just knew was for me, But hey, every lesson is a lesson learned. You got to take that, like my brother Max said, you're gonna bump your head. You just got to the table. You don't know everything. You're gonna learn as you go. But I will say this. There are signs that you can tell. You can tell. It's signs out there. You can tell.
Most definitely.
So never lose yourself trying to find somebody else. I think that was the gist of what she was saying.
That part. Most definitely. Don't not lose yourself. I agree.
So fellas, it's getting close to that time. Let me start off with you, Brother Dwight.
Yes, sir.
You got any advice for anybody who may find themselves overly emotionally invested or diving deep and seeing themselves in a emotional enmeshment within their relationship? Any words of wisdom that you can, kind of give them to may possibly help them get through it?
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Are you talking to somebody that's already messed up? But anyway,
hey. They say wisdom flows from the lips. Wisdom flows from the lips of fools.
All right, Spicy. Hey, I'm feeling like this. A lot of things that Brother Mac, I'm pretty sure he's gonna, put out there that he said, you just can't lose yourself. Like I said, we all been in those type of relationships, and every man, every woman have a different story. But I'm just saying, just don't lose yourself. Don't kill yourself over somebody. You can pray, but sometimes that person may not just be the person for you. Work it out the best way you can. We all been there, and shoot, if you have a problem, ask a best friend. Maybe you can talk to your best friend. They can help you get through it and everything. But just basically, just don't lose yourself. Everybody deserves the boundaries, so just don't lose yourself. That's my best advice I can give to you. So, I ain't got nothing left for you.
All right. Brother
Right.
Mac. Brother Mac, I know you, I know experience in life ain't gonna not let you give somebody some good words of wisdom.
Yes, that's good. All right, there we go. Listen here. I'm gonna tell you one thing and one thing only. Rather you're wasting it, rather you're into it correctly, rather you're unaware of it, whatever the case may be, time is one thing that you can't get back. And so you would be better off spending your time in the best possible positions of your life. No matter how young or how old you is, it's never too late. But you will always feel like, man, I should have been living it up. I should have been doing what I needed to do for me. I should have been doing what I needed to do for these kids. Man, I wish I could go back and change a whole bunch of stuff. But you got to understand, in that effort, time ain't on your side. So live it up right now. Because God, do you believe last week I was in the hospital from a car crash, 3 broken ribs, 2 missing teeth, stitches in my eye. I'm still here to tell y'all that don't waste your time, man.
Amen. Nothing but God. Nothing but God.
Wow.
Nothing but God. Thank God you're still here. Nothing but God.
Yes, sir. It's a lovely thing to have you still here with us, Brother Mac.
Yeah.
So, if I had anything to say, just, from what I've been through with relationships, with lovers, as well as with family, don't be afraid to admit that you have a problem, like my brother Max said, because that's the first step to healing. If like I say, I'm a habitual line crosser. I know that, so I have to work on that so that I can get better for us. But at the same time, I say, don't be afraid to actually seek help. There's nothing wrong with therapy. They say Black people don't do therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy.
Sure ain't. I did therapy. You're right. There's nothing wrong with it. Because I've done it.
And I would say that, and when I say therapy, I don't mean go talk to your pastor, don't go talking to your bitter best friend or, your miserable uncle or your miserable auntie. Go talk to a professional, because you'll be surprised at some of the things that you will learn about yourself by being able to speak to an unbiased ear. Because I'm just telling you, it helps me out a lot. So I will say that. If you feel that you can't do it on your own, don't try to do it cold turkey. It's going to take time, because of the simple fact, as long as it took for the problem to occur, it's going to take just as long as for that problem to heal. So with that being said, I'm going to say thank y'all for coming out, tuning in to us. Today, we had a lovely time. Can't wait to get on here tomorrow, like Spicy said. Matter of fact, before we go, Spicy. Yeah, Spicy. Spicy, you think you're going to get off that easy. You almost had me. You got anything that you think you got anything that you could possibly say to somebody that finds themselves overly emotionally invested or in a emotional enmeshment within their relationship, be it with a lover or with their family? Any words of wisdom or comfort that you could give them to help them see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, I am going to say, don't lose yourself by drowning in somebody else. And in order to do that, you have to, I know a lot of people say, I love myself. If you truly love yourself, you don't allow yourself to be lost. Meaning, going through things, if you see red flags, don't allow yourself to enter into the red flag. Don't put yourself in a position to where you feel obligated to exit out of that situation. You got to know what is best for self, because without self, there's nobody else. Without self, there's no prospering or going forward. So, you know, you have to learn how to love oneself. And setting boundaries, there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. You should have those boundaries set before you actually get too deep into a relationship.
Amen.
All right. You still there? Oh, was you done, Spicy?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Her service got a little nervous. She all right.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Everybody's Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi today.
Yes,
So once again, first of all, thank you, Brother Mac, for being such a good surprise guest. You brought so much knowledge, so much knowledge and information to the viewing audience.
Yes, sir.
As usual, my brother Mac always got good words of wisdom for us.
Yeah.
Brother Dwight always keeping us entertained with the stories and speaking his own truth.
Hey,
and myself, I appreciate me. But I had a ball, y'all. I don't know about y'all. I think this is gonna be one of them shows that I actually go back and look at. I might go back and look at this.
Very good show.
Not that I don't look at any other shows, but there's something special about this show for real. Because, like I said, thank y'all for being a part of my therapy session for today. I do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
Nothing but love, brother. Nothing but love.
So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we will see you tomorrow night, and we will see you next Friday and next Saturday, and every Friday and Saturday following. Until then, have a blessed weekend.
Hey.
Come on. Focus out like you used to, Brother Mac. Shout out to Mr. B. They gonna have to stop working my brother like a Hebrew slave.
Yeah.
She can disappear Friday, but Monday she calling me because I'm running it.
And also, we want to send our prayers out to King D.
Yes, King D.
We can King D in your prayers. Also, Golden Honey. Lift her up in prayers as well. We all going through life right now. We all going through trials and tribulations. But there's nothing wrong with saying a prayer for somebody so that Lord can uphold them, heal them, and bring them through. Y'all have a good night.
Yay.